Shalom, back with part 2. Let's continue here, all right? The Lord and his word destroying the wicked, right, and their false prophetic prophecies, all right? So again, this guy on the video talking about that the main characters are the beast that comes out of the sea and then the beast that comes out of the earth. And that's right there is a lie and it's falsehood. All right, the main characters of the scriptures are Jacob and Esau, all right? And we'll get to that, all right? But first, let's show you basically what that is, okay? And this is out of Revelation 13. You'll also read this in Daniel, all right? The 7th chapter right there, starting from the top. It starts explaining this, all right? And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having the 7 heads and the 10 horns. So again, that stuff gets into the parable that you read in Revelation 17. We're going to jump over there in a moment. All right. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. All right. And then it breaks it down for you. All right. The beast of the sea. All right. And it's talking about the previous kingdoms. These beast kingdoms, all right? The beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, okay? The leopard is talking about the Macedonian kingdom, and they call themselves the Greeks, because they call themselves after the land that they conquered. That's when the Edomites first came into power, all right? So that's what that was talking about. His feet were as the feet of a bear. The bear represents Medo-Persia, all right? That would be the second beast, all right? And the first beast, the lion, that's talking about the Babylonian kingdom, all right? So you have the Babylonian, Medo-Persia, all right? Then you have the third beast, the Macedonian kingdom, that's Alexander the Great and his father, King Philip the Macedonian, all right? And they call themselves the Greeks. They're not the original Greeks or the Romans, all right, or the Europeans. That was all Japhet, a brown-skinned pigment people, much like the Israelites, okay? So anyway, all right, and the dragon gave him his power. The dragon is talking about Satan, all right? It's just another word for Satan, but his seat was where? In Rome, right? The throne of Satan was in Rome. So, and eventually the third beast, the Macedonian kingdom, who are Edomites, they would morph into the fourth beast, the Roman Empire. You understand? Okay? So that's who it's talking about, basically, when it says from the sea, it's talking about the first 3 kingdoms, all right? Beast kingdoms, the Babylonian, Medo-Persia, and the Edomites coming into power, calling themselves the Greeks. That's talking about the beast that he saw, Daniel, coming out of the sea. And of course, John the Revelator saw the same thing here. All right. So let's jump to the parable. All right. Okay. The parable is in Revelation 17. All right. Now there's a picture. I'm not going to take you to that for time's sake. All right. I'm just going to give it to you straight. Okay. All right. See, the parable starts here. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? And I will tell thee the mystery of the woman. Who is who? The whore. All right, you go up to verse 1. All right, and it says, come hither, and I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, that little parable answer is in verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people, multitude, nations, and tongues. All right. America, Babylon the Great, is a melting pot, much like the Roman Empire. You understand? Okay. Another thing to remember is America has over 800 military bases globally. You understand that? No other nation has that. That should tell you plenty. All right. So let's get back to this here. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. So the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? And I will tell thee the mystery of the woman. Now you know the woman is talking about the whore, America, Babylon the Great. And of the beast that carried her. So in other words, she's sitting on the beast system, all right? Which have the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? And we just read that in Revelation 13. I told you it's spoken about, all right, in the Daniel, all right, breaking down who the previous, 4 beasts were, right? Okay? All right. So the beast that thou sawest was and is not and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. Bottomless pit is Europe. And go into perdition, which means destruction. Yeah, we read that, right? The man of sin, son of perdition, destruction, right? All right. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life. Okay? And that would be everybody, because the majority of the people on this earth are in the dark. You understand? Because you've all been deceived. All right? And they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Right? Because again, everyone assumes that the Roman Empire was done away with. And yes, it was. But now you have to understand the system that you're dealing with here. All right? And that's why you have to understand the parable. And we're about to break it down for you. Okay? And here is the mind which have wisdom. All right? The 7 heads are 7 mountains. Mountain represents government, nations, kingdoms. You got that? On which the woman sitteth on. All right? In other words, that she reigneth over. Make it simple for you. Jump down to the last verse. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, talking about America, Babylon the Great, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. There you go. All right? Back to the parable. Okay? All right? Now, there are 7 kings. That word kings is short for kingdoms, because I told you the mountains represent what? Government, nation, kingdoms. Okay? So in this case here, the word kings is short for kingdoms. So there are 7 kingdoms. 5 of them are fallen. What are the 5? Germania Major, Germania Minor. Those are 2. The Spanish, right? Okay? That would be, the Spanish. And then the French. That's 4. And then the Greek Empire. Those are your 5 fallen kingdoms. All right? And then the one that's the Roman Empire during the time of John the Revelator. All right? Was on the island of Patmos, and he was there as a political prisoner in his 90s, all right, the salt mines. Okay, that's the Roman Empire, all right? That's the one that is, all right, the 4th beast, okay? And the other is not yet come, and when he come, he must continue a short space. That would be the British Empire. You people got that? You understand all that? Okay? Give me a minute. All right, I'll do it anyway. I'll take you over to the picture so you have more clarity and understanding. Give me a minute. Okay, let's take a look at it. We'll go over it again. The 5 fallen kingdoms, right? There are 7 kingdoms, 5 have fallen. Germania Major, right there. You see it right there. Germania Minor, right? You see the Spanish, you see the French, right? Those are 4. And you see the Greek Empire right there, all right? Those are the 5 fallen. The one that is the Roman Empire. See Romans right there, okay? The one that was to come and continue a short space is who? The British Empire. You see it right there? Now you see it's all a conglomerate, right? It's a hydra, right? The 7 heads and 10 horns. The 10 horns represent the vassal states, all right, that were providence under the Roman Empire, all right? It's not really important, but they're called what? They are called, the Franks, the Burgundians, the Suevi, the Vandals, Visigoths, Saxons, Ostrogoths, Lombards, the Herculi, and the Huns, all right? Those were the 10 vassal states. Today, in modern day, there are 28, 29 nations in the EU, all right? Basically, there's still 10. They're just nations that were broken up, all right? And that's basically to deceive you, okay? There's still 10 nations there. All right. Now you see what it says here? The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, okay, is NATO. The NATO is the beast, all right? The EU nations are the financial and political arm of the beast, all right? And NATO is the military arm, the iron teeth of the beast system. Now America, Babylon the Great, is not a part of the EU nations, but she has been not only a part, but the head snake of NATO, all right? The military arm of the beast. You understand? Okay, that's what makes up your Edomite beast system, which is what? The last leg and extension of the revived Roman Empire. Now, America is the 8th and final head of that. There's no more heads. We'll prove it right now, right here. All right? And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. Why? Because America comes out of Great Britain. America was started by 13 British colonies, all right? So, and then she fought off, right, Great Britain, right, for her independence, fought the French, and fought Spain. You understand? And this it is in the 7th. So again, the beast that was and is not, he is the 8th, talking about America, Babylon the Great. He is of the 7, right? Because she comes out of Great Britain and goeth into what? Perdition, which means destruction. There you go, people. There ain't no 9, there ain't no 10. That's it. Because what comes after this is what? The kingdom. All right? The kingdom. The kingdom of Yahushua. All right? And you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans that make up 12 tribes are co-heirs to the kingdom. All right, let's move on, shall we? All right, we gave you all that to give you understanding. All right, so again, the 2 main characters really are not, these people. It's just really about Jacob and Esau, okay? All right, that's who it's really about, Jacob and Esau, okay? Let's go to Thessalonians here real quick. Thessalonians 2. See what it says here? And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. The spirit of the Lord's mouth are his prophets, all right? Luke 1:70, and all throughout the scriptures. I'm just giving you that as an example, as a reference. All right. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That brightness is the nuclear fire from the ICBMs and the concentrated laser fire from the chariots. All right. But then shall that wicked be revealed. Is the Lord not revealing them? Right? Yes, he is. Okay. And who's the wicked? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. Malachi 1:4 tells you who it is. He saw Edom, right? That they're a people, a nation, right? Whom the Lord have indignation, which is righteous anger forever with them. All right? Okay? Isaiah 34:5-6 will tell you, right, that, the Lord's sword shall come down upon who? Edom. The Edomites, Idumea. All right? And they are the people, the nation, to the Lord's curse to judgment. You see that? All right? And you could throw in 2/3 of Israelites in there, plus the other 16 heathen nations. You understand? Okay? But the Lord is going to destroy this place, America, Babylon the Great. You understand that? America is, as it says there in Isaiah 34:5-6, the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, all right, which is the capital in Edom, talking about America, Babylon the Great. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, which is Edom, America, Babylon the Great. So America is going to be a burning sacrifice unto the Lord, all right? The Lord's going to have a barbecue, okay? Plain and simple, all right? All right, so the mystery of iniquity does already work, okay? That mystery of iniquity is the Edomites, all right, going back to the Roman Empire, all right, in the Greek Empire. And now you know that withholdeth that he might be revealed this time. He's being revealed right now, all right, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the God power, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, citizen of the temple of God. That's talking about us, the Israelites, all right. We'll be right back with, I believe, part 3, all right. Shalom.